Islam has contributed to many scientific fields, including the field of medicine. Islamic doctors have developed new techniques in medicine, surgery, pharmacology, and founded the first hospitals, as well as wrote encyclopedias of medical knowledge. Hey guys, welcome back to another FTD Facts episode. My name is Leroy Kenton, and for this one, we're going to be looking at 10 major contributions Islam made to medicine. Alright, so let's kick this episode off with number 10. Translations. Arab and Persian scholars, they translated texts from Greek, Syriac, Sanskrit, as well as Pahlavi into Arabic and Latin, saving those texts from disappearing entirely from the face of the world. Islamic scholars translated medical text from around the known world, and they also added their own observations, thus creating encyclopedias of medical knowledge. Many Islamic medical texts, such as Ibn Sina's Canon of Medicine, as well as Al-Razi's Liber al-Marsorsis, and Al-Zarari's Kitab al-Tasrif. They became central to medical education in European universities for hundreds of years. From there, number 9 leads us to the establishment of hospitals. The Prophet Muhammad had decreed that the sick people and injured people should be cared for and not neglected. The first medical center was established in Persia, which of course now is Iran, and this was back in the 6th century. Baghdad's Audidi Hospital was run by the great Islamic doctor Al-Razi, and Islam gave rise to medical centers, which today would be recognized as hospitals. They had different words for different diseases, as well as outpatient clinics, surgery recovery wards, as well as pharmacies. Now, Baghdad, which was the center of the Islamic Golden Age, had 5 public hospitals by the year 1000, which was a huge achievement because hospitals were not common during that time. Now let's look at the contribution of training of doctors. Islam not only contributed to medicine by establishing medical centers, but also by providing medical training to doctors. Islamic hospitals pioneered the use of antiseptics such as alcohol and vinegar, as well as rose water in cleaning wounds. The Muslim doctors were familiar with the use of opium as an anesthetic during long surgeries and for extracting teeth. They were trained to keep everything completely clean and sanitized, so they had a very high standard of hygiene. From there, let's look at number 7, anatomy and blood circulation. 300 years before William Harvey discovered blood circulation, pulmonary circulation was described by the Arab doctor Ibn al-Nafis. Besides his description of the circulatory system and the heart, Al-Nafis, he advocated dissection to learn anatomy and physiology truly, but he wasn't able to perform dissections because of his Muslim beliefs. Al-Nafis, he transferred his knowledge on the brain, as well as the nervous system, bone structure, gallbladder, etc., 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 in his medical encyclopedia, Al-Shamil, but not much of his work was translated to Latin and used by medical professionals until much later. The contribution at number 6 is the recognition of diseases. One achievement of Islamic medicine is that it also helped recognize infectious diseases like leprosy, smallpox, and STDs. Now, the great Islamic doctor Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, well, he added tuberculosis and described how contagious diseases spread and the necessary methods of quarantine for those diseases. Coming in at number 5, we have contributions to surgery. The Arab doctor Al-Zarari established the basis of surgery in Al-Andalus in Cordoba, where he worked as a doctor for Caliph Al-Hakam II. Al-Zarari, he invented over 200 surgical instruments, many of which are still used today, including forceps, scalpels, surgical needles, as well as retractors and catgut sutures. He also wrote the famous Al-Tasrif, which is a 30-volume book of medicine and surgery. He gave a new direction to surgery with his extensive knowledge and discovery of some of the most important surgical instruments. Moving on now to number 4, treating and diagnosing ailments. Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, he was known in the West as the Prince of Physicians. His publication Al-Qanan Fi'il Tib, the Canon of Medicine, became a core text for physicians across the Islamic world and Europe, laying out a detailed guide for diagnosing and treating ailments. Ibn Sina, he explained the diagnosis of different diseases from the color, turbidity, as well as the odor of urine. He also created a system of medicine that is called holistic today, in which physical and psychological factors, drugs, as well as diet were combined together to treat patients. Number 3 leads us to pharmacies. Just as the Islamic Golden Era contributed to establishing hospitals during the same time, Islamic pharmacies, known as Saidalas, they were introduced as a part of the Islamic healthcare system. Arab pharmacies were government supervised to ensure the purity and overall quality of the medications, which were weighed on verified scales and, of course, labeled correctly. The knowledge of the Islamic doctors then filtered into Western medieval medicine, and new healing substances were made and used. Now let's look at the contributions to medicines at number 2. Many preparations were drawn from animal, plant, and mineral sources to be used in treating diseases that were described by Al-Kindi in his book Akrabadin. And one major Islamic contribution was treating medicine and pharmacology as separate sciences. A lot of information was established by Islamic doctors on medical herbs, aromatic compounds such as musk, and inorganic medicines. And from there, that leads us to number 1, anesthesia. It is said that Al-Razi was the first doctor to use inhaled medication as anesthesia. The Islamic doctors, they discovered the use of plants and drugs to relieve pain and anesthesia, and they made patients eat, drink, or inhale them to relieve their pain. So there you have it, guys. This was a look at 10 major contributions that Islam has made to medicine. If I missed any, be sure to let me know in the comments section. And also, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up. It really does help. If this happens to be your first time coming across our videos, go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell. That way you can join the FTD Facts family and never miss one of our uploads. We post videos daily, so stick around to be educated every single day about something new.